guys, how's it going? Today we're planting some spring crops out here in the greenhouse, and I'm so excited. It feels like such a gift to be able to be out here early doing this sort of thing. This is the first winter we've had heat in the greenhouse. We have it set to 50 degrees Fahrenheit right now, but even on a kind of overcast day like we're having, the ambient temperature right now is 61 degrees. I just looked at the thermostat a second ago, and on a nice sunny day, it gets upwards of like 72, 73. It's just absolutely wonderful. So today we're gonna start some carrots, beets, radish, leeks, cabbage, and broccoli. I already have spinach and lettuce growing. So here are the seeds we're working with today. First off, we have cherry bell and French breakfast radish. They're both a 23-day maturity, super fast turnaround crop. So we'll see a mature crop from this the fastest. Then we've got Nante's carrots, wonderful sweet coreless carrot, a golden beet right here, sugar snap pole peas, which will go, on that trellis there. And then our cabbage, which I've got golden acre, red acre, and pixie baby cabbage, and our broccoli. We're gonna start some burgundy broccoli. These all prefer a little bit of a warmer temperature to germinate faster. So I thought we would start them in a tray and put them on a heat mat and then possibly pop them in this raised bed that's behind our olive tree once they have grown up a little bit. I just thought that that might speed things along a little bit for us. And then I'm going to seed a tray of leeks as well. Those won't be on a heat mat, but I thought we'd seed them in this because they're 110-day maturity. I thought we would put kind of the shorter day maturity stuff in that raised bed. And then right over here to our right, you can see I have just piles of stuff. I've been collecting 4-inch containers from old annuals and their trays. I've got some seed starter trays, some 11 by 22s just sitting here waiting. And then I just got this mat. So this is a heat mat that you put the soil probe thing in there, and it helps keep the soil temperature like 10 to 20 degrees over what the ambient temperature is in here, which is perfect because I think cabbage wants, cabbage and broccoli both want around 75 to 80 degrees to germinate the fastest. And then once they germinate, you move them off the heat. Anyway, you can see here, you can set your temperature, what you want to heat the soil up to, and can kind of gauge things that way. I have our blue Himalayan poppies going right here. We just started those a day or two ago, so no action on those, but they're sitting on a heat mat as well. I've also got my labels and my markers, so we should be good to go. I usually am not able to plant this sort of thing until about mid to late March. So this is an incredible jump on the season for me, and I'm not planting an enormous amount of any of these, but I just thought it'd be fun to have some fresh things and really kind of test out without biting off too much what I can accomplish out here, because I'm not experienced growing in a heated unit like this. I thought it would be good just to kind of start slow and not fill it up with too much and then get overwhelmed. So anyway, let's get to planting. Let's do all of the things that are gonna just go straight into the soil over here first. Tags first, always, if I can remember. We're going to start with the sugar snap pole peas first. They want to be seeded about every 1.5 to 2 inches apart, and I just pop them down in the soil about a 1/2 inch up to an inch or so. And that's all there is to that. Okay, so we're going to do carrots, beets, and radishes in this bed. I'm only going to do probably 1 row each of the radishes because we don't eat a tremendous amount of them. And then I'll split the difference between the beets and the carrots. Now, carrot seeds need to go about 1/4 to a 1/2 inch deep, and I'll be spacing my rows fairly close to each other to pack in as much production as possible. I'll probably be harvesting most of these young anyway. I won't let the plants get enormous, but I'll put a little bit more space between the beet rows because these plants just naturally get bigger. The leaves are more bold, they take up more space. But beets and radishes, both the seeds on these need to be buried about a 1/2 inch deep or so. All right, let's get these planted. Okay, our little garden over here is planted. I'm so thrilled about this project. We have the sugar snap pole peas here. I do think I'm going to come along with some garden twine and just tie off and kind of make a little grid. This has a little bit of something for the peas to climb on, but I think having a little bit more might be helpful. Either way, I think it'll work out. Then we've got, our lettuces and spinach here. And then we've got 3 rows of Nantes carrots, 3 rows of golden beets, and 2 rows total of the radishes. And it is feeling a lot warmer in here. Let's check the thermostat. Do you see that? 71 in here. Isn't that amazing? I just love it in here so much. I'm tempted to just fill this raised bed and plant it up with some things, but I'm kind of holding off, one, because I want to make sure this is where I want it for right now. This is a corten steel raised bed from Gardener's Supply, so it gets this really neat kind of rust patina on it. Anyway, it's going to be real heavy when we fill it up, and I want to make sure that it will be both out of the way and in a good spot for whatever we're growing in the end, wherever it lands. So I'm kind of holding off for that reason. And then I also have tomatoes, peppers, and a couple of cucumbers going in the studio right now that I think I'm going to start bringing out here during the day for a few days. Although it's so warm in here, I don't know that they need much of a transition period to come out here. I think I could plant up like all the peppers in here, have a little pepper garden. That'd be kind of fun. Okay, now we have broccoli, cabbage, and leeks. And the most glorious blooming hyacinths. I was gonna move them off the table to get them out of the way, but they smell so good. I'm leaving them nearby. Gotta drink it up, soak it in. All right guys, so I've got 2 trays filled with pre-moistened seed starting mix. I always pre-moisten my soil first because it helps the soil settle into the container better. It eliminates air pockets. If you start with dry soil and then put your seed on top, a lot of times when you water, like initially, the water kind of floats because it takes a while for the water to really saturate that soil well. And when the water floats, it can dislodge the seed and move things around a little bit. So pre-moistening is a really good idea. You don't want it to be soggy, sopping wet. You want it just to be lightly moist. I'm gonna start with the French baby leeks first. These are Primor or Primor. Got the packet all dirty. Hang on, it's because my hand's all dirty. You can plant these in an open container or open tray, something that doesn't have cells if you want to do it that way. But I don't think I've got enough seeds in here, I'm not sure, to fill up a whole tray, and I want to utilize every last inch of this space, and it's easier to separate varieties if I've got cells because I can label things a little bit easier. So we're going to start with this 1/2 inch deep with the seeds. You can space them if you're in an open tray about 1 inch apart, and then when you start thinning them, you can actually steam or grill up the baby leeks and eat them whole like that. They're really tasty, so you're actually utilizing all of the plants that you put in. When you plant them out in the landscape, you want to, or in your garden, you want to space them about 4 to 6 inches or so. Oh, I've got plenty to fill this tray. For crying out loud. Okay. Well, I'm really happy that worked out. I had plenty of seeds to fill this whole tray. So what I ended up doing, instead of just making a single, hole or indent 1/2 inch in the center and planting right in the center, I just went ahead and scooped out. I haven't planted anything in here yet. I scooped out about 1/2 inch or so of soil, scattered seeds in there, and then just pushed the soil back over the top so everything was properly buried. Now, like I said, the leeks are not going to be placed on a heat mat. They don't need that. They will take upwards of 3 weeks to all germinate. Usually it's kind of sporadic, 2 to 3 weeks or so for them to come up. So I'll just make sure that they stay moist. The temperature in here should be plenty for them to come up. Now, once you plant these out in your garden, they are fairly heavy feeders. So you want to amend the soil. I'll be adding in land and sea compost and keeping them fertilized. So these I'm just going to pop on the tray right toward the back. And I will water them here in a minute, but we're gonna put humidity domes over everything to make sure everything stays nice and moist. Okay, so now I need to figure out how many of each of these I want to eat. We eat way more cabbage than we do broccoli, but there's only 10 seeds here. And usually I want to do 2 seeds per cell, so that's only going to take up 5 cells, which means I will have 19 cells left. So we'll be able to grow quite a bit of cabbage, which will be fun. Broccoli seeds go 1/8 of an inch deep, and cabbage seeds I think go 1/2 inch. Yeah, 1/2 inch deep. Pretty straightforward. I haven't grown this specific variety of broccoli before, but I'm encouraged because it does say that this particular one, as opposed to other like purple type broccoli, it's way more tolerant to wider ranges of temperatures. Like it can take more heat, while a lot of the other purple broccolis can't take heat. And while that doesn't matter this early in the season, I mean, it says that it will produce side shoots for a lot of the season. So if we can keep it going and keep side shoots producing, that would be amazing. Yeah, it says 1 moderate to small main head, which a lot of times people pinch off to encourage more side shoots, but the real show starts as it begins to produce generous side shoots. Purple broccolis are known for being quite tender, flavorful, and full of antioxidants. So there you go. Let's get this tray planted. Okay, so I put the probe in the soil and it's working on it. 66.7 currently. I have it set to 75. And this one right here that I've got the Himalayan poppy set on, this one does not have a thermostat, so I don't know. It's warm though. It feels nice. This is what this heat mat is. I ordered this one, which is just a single, like 11 by 22, and then I ordered a 20.75 by 48 inch. I think, so it can fit 4 of these larger flats on it. That should be here tomorrow. I think I'm going to start quite a few of my cold tolerant annuals in here. So some stock, snapdragons. I can't think of anything else off the top of my head, but I've got a lot of them that I usually start inside, but I thought if I could start them out here, get the soil warm enough, I think the temperature in here is going to be totally fine for them. But it'll be an interesting experiment either way. I usually use a larger pump sprayer to water all my seedlings. I've been using just this little hand one, which it's quickly becoming a little bit more of a nuisance because it takes a lot longer than just pumping up a pump sprayer and having pressure for a while. And when I've got like full swing of seedlings going, it's really nice to have a pump sprayer. I just used the one from this last year so much. I used it to its death, I think, or I got something plugged in it somehow. Now that I've got all of the seeds done in here, I thought we would run out to the raised bed where I have carrots from last year still under the soil. I have no idea if I'm going to be able to dig any of them out, but I thought we could check on them and see what they look like. Typically, we can dig carrots throughout the winter as long as the soil's not frozen solid and use them, and they're nice and sweet. I need my coat though. Hey, Russell. Russell. Hey, Russell. Kitty, kitty, kitty. Russell. Oh, you were sleeping, weren't ya? Okay, well, I need you to get off my coat so I can bundle up for outside, bud. I think the cats love this greenhouse now because the sides, you know, the rolling sides, they're not pinned down completely and they can squeeze their way in here. So I know because I see little indents in soil bags and stuff and I see hair around that they are in here in the night, and I would be. I don't blame them at all. You know how to get in here. I think we'll take this with us and these. I think these will be necessary because we're still covered in snow out there. Whew. Things are looking a little askew in here. What world happened there? Jeez. Okay. Carrots are right under here, along with some onions and some other things. There's some beets back there. Let's see if we can't get in here. Oh yeah, look at the beet right here. Holy moly. I don't know if that I'm gonna be able to get that out. Okay, I'm gonna try a different approach. Nope, that's not gonna happen today. It is way too frozen out here. And then just a few feet away, we have dry, workable soil. Such is winter. Oh, there's Benjamin. Hey, Benjamin, what are you doing, buddy? Would you like to play a little Legos with me?
In the house?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would that be fun?
Yeah.
Okay, well let me just clean up my stuff real quick and we'll go play Legos.
Build something cool.
You'll build something cool?
I think I'll build one.
Ooh, that'd be fun.